Good afternoon, everybody. We're back on the Red River Farm Network crop tour presented by Pioneer, and we've made our way up north to Rock Lake, North Dakota, where we are at Lakeview Seed and joined by Brock and Brody. Brock Mitchell and Brody, we'll get to you in a second. But Brock, first, tell us a little bit about yourself and your agency.
Well, I've been in the seed business. I think we started with Pioneer 11 years ago. Built a new building and a bulk site, and recently hired Brody as our agronomist, and going from there.
Yeah, well, we had to pull Brody into the video, but we were told him we'd just have him say a few comments here. And Brody, as I understand, you're a recent college graduate and you're new to the team. So tell me about yourself, your background, and what you're excited to bring to Lakeview Seed.
Yeah, I grew up in Rolla, so not too far away from here, and have a lot of family ties back to Rock Lake. So just got my agronomy degree at NDSU, and Brock brought me on it was last spring, and just graduated this spring with agronomy, so hope to help customers and patrons out and grow the Pioneer business.
Yes, certainly. So Brock, let's start from square one. We know it's been a very trying year. Things have turned around a little bit up in this area, but it hasn't always looked like this. You guys were very dry, like the rest of the countryside, when you tried to put the crop in the ground.
Yeah, no, we were extremely dry to start the year. April, I think we maybe had one shower for the whole month, latter part of the month. Started seeding early, really didn't catch much moisture all through May. The crop, we got it out of the ground, caught a few timely showers in June to keep it going. July, much of the same. A couple thunderstorms rolled through mid-July when it was really hot and kind of saved us. And that's kind of been the story throughout the year. We've seen a light bit of crop stress, but when we were due for a lot of stress to show up in the crop, we have been fortunate to catch that moisture. So.
Yep. Well, and of course, we're standing in this beautiful soybean field here, and we'll get to the soybeans in a second, but maybe we can have Brody grab the canola plant we have over here, because we're in canola country, and we know the canola crop has gone through its fair share of challenges, but I mean, in the spots that it's good, and we dealt with some early season problems, but what are your expectations for the canola crop?
You know, we're not quite to canola harvest. I've heard an odd field off just out of our area here. Canola yields there, I heard, were kind of poor. We are expecting to have fairly decent yields on most of the fields. Same story with that as all the crops. We caught some timely rains and kept it going, and I actually don't expect a lot lower than average crop myself. So standing nice and low disease pressure. So things to me are looking up, especially with the prices of the canola at the elevator. So.
Well, and we heard about that at our last stop, where we're actually worried about some of this integrity with not only corn, but especially with canola, of actually some of those pods dropping off. No fault to themselves, but it's just that plant has been under so much stress for so long. Not as much concerning here with the canola.
No, I think that's always a concern. We get into this time of year, late August, early September, we see that change of the seasons happening. You tend to get more erratic weather, more wind, and it's we're going to be a little susceptible with our canola in the field at going through that stage. So it is a concern. Hopefully it's something we can manage around, get it off in good shape, and get her sold.
Yeah, well, especially with Pioneer, canola has had a lot of exciting developments in the past couple of years with introducing Lumiderm and just some more upright varieties. What makes you excited for 2022?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. The Lumiderm is a really exciting product. It's one thing we are seeing working really good on the flea beetle pressure, and it seems as though the flea beetle pressure is getting worse every year. The other thing we got going now is the Liberty tolerance. We're excited about those varieties as well as the pod chatter.
So let's touch on the beans here. We actually see a lot of soybean fields as we were driving on up here, and the beans look good, and maybe some of the later planted, earlier or shorter day length varieties are thriving.
Yeah, actually, all the beans look good. Same story. We caught some timely rains, and that's made all the difference. We were pretty nervous there early July. Beans looked a little rough. They're starting to show some stress, and the rains came, and we ended up with this. So extremely excited. The early varieties are getting near finishing up. I think in another week, most of those will be done and drying down. The later ones, like we're standing in, is we got a 009 field over here and a single 01 field over here, and they're going to need a couple more weeks frost free.
Yep. And what technologies are growers really utilizing from Pioneer? Of course, we have Enlist, which is new, but what's the favorite up here?
Everybody's in the Extend right now. It's kind of where it's gone, the soybean business. With the drift issues and the volatility of that product, I think we're standing in and by another Enlist field right now. Yeah. And I think my feeling is that where the technology is going. Much safer product to use, don't got to worry about the drift. And weed control looks to me to be second to none.
Yep. Certainly. Well, and I know we have some corn down here, and we'll have one of the guys grab that. If we can look at it, you have one too. Yep. But the corn, we don't think of corn this far north, but you guys have found a way to grow it up here. And of course, with new hybrids and some shorter day corn, it really does work.
Yeah, it does. We, tend to not see a lot of corn in the area. You go slight bit south, you start to get out of the canola acres and more into the corn. Mm-hmm. And yes, it does seem to be working. Guys see it as a fit on their farms. And this year we're August 26th today?
Yep.
I think, fully dented and going forward. So we're just looking to dry down from this point.
Yep. Any concerns in the corn this year? Because, of course, we, again, talk about that integrity piece and harvest management. I think, too, like you were mentioning with the canola, harvest management is going to be key when we get to that point.
I really feel this year the big watch out in the corn is going to be the stock quality. Mm-hmm. For the stresses it did go through. We might not have seen a lot, but it had an effect on the plant, and I feel stock quality could be something that we're really going to have to be looking for, getting those bushels off early. Mm-hmm. Maintaining stocks, integrity. Until that time, if we try to let it get dry in the field, I think we're going to, mm-hmm. see an issue arise.
Yeah. So. Well, and I want to ask you, Brody, just one more question. I promise this is not a hard one, but you have some experience underneath your belt now and going through this growing season. And what excites you about 2022, or what are you looking forward to sharing more with the customers that you work with?
Our canola varieties are really something I'm excited for. Got to see it the last 2 growing seasons. I just think the Liberty and our pod shatter resistant varieties, I think that we can straight cut everything. That's a big thing around here. Nobody wants to get in your swather if you don't have to. Yeah. So I think with that going forward and the varieties getting better, I think that's going to be a big push for us next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know better than none. You were born and raised in canola country here, so thanks for that. And Brock, any final things to wrap up our conversation today?
I guess not. Bring on some more heat and get us back in the field harvesting, I guess.
Yes. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Brock and Brody here. We're at Lakeview Seed at Rock Lake, North Dakota on the Red River Farm Network Crop Tour presented by Pioneer. I'm Megan Overby.